There's a South Park episode titled Canceled, went into how in the show the planet Earth was a show and it was being broadcasted across the universe or whatever. But essentially all that was happening on planet Earth was pretty much just for entertainment. And in some ways, I look to see, is that the case that is going on here today in the real world? I don't know. I sometimes just think, what really is going on here. It kind of makes me go and have to admit I'm very ashamed, very disappointed in this system that is going on, that I have any association to it. Shout out to Hoodoo Goddess. She mentioned herself that she's appalled. And yes, I am appalled. Very much so embarrassed that I'm even here, that somehow I got here. But I'm here and, I'm making the best of it. But yeah, it's just looking around and saying, is there more to this? Are there people looking at us? Like, what's going on here? In many ways, this show or movie called Life, Existence, this Earth realm, it could be labeled rated R, of course, when you look at all the gore, all the brutality going on. Of course, you look at the animal kingdom, but you can look at what we do. I mean, we go through war consistently. All the killings that we do ourselves, all the fight, all the just that energy, that angle to, let alone in the animal kingdom, to our humanity. But it also could be rated PG when you look at the mindset, when you look at just the way people go about things, the stupidity, just how kind of baby-like it is. Really, it's just, it's really not of a mature thought. It really isn't. You have kids raising kids, right? Essentially, in my eyes. So yeah, in a lot of ways, it can be on the far spectrum when it comes to, if you were to rate this show, this movie, but in a lot of ways it's not, because you look at what it is, we're really just confused, going through this all. We're lost, trackless wilderness. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're gonna do tomorrow even. So it is very novice what's going on here. We're clueless. I think it's interesting, though. There was a comment that I was going back and forth with on somebody. Sometimes these back and forth comments, you have to take a break because it's just like, what? When you see what people say. But somebody told me that the greatest conceivable crime is antinatalism, that to not promote this existence, to not promote creating good lives is the greatest conceivable crime. And I just thought that was silly. I mentioned how to that person, but also in my own head, how human language is just stupid sometimes. Sometimes this English language, it can be twisted with how people can frame sort of things with what they say. I told him that it's kind of silly to say that a crime is happening when there's nobody that's getting imposed any crime. That is, if anything, a crime to you, but it's not really affecting you per se. It's not your life. So it's kind of silly to say that it's a crime when you're not the one having to deal with whatever better situation would have happened. It's really not a crime. So how it was kind of framed in that angle, I just thought it was disingenuous. But yeah, human language is stupid. Truthfully, crime is what's going on here. You just look anywhere. The modern term is capitalism if you're of the Western world, but really anywhere. I mean, if you're the United States is a political, economic hegemon currently, at least. So that is infiltrating anywhere where humans are. But yeah, there's nothing but just, crime going down here. So for that to be the statement that, this type of thought, abstaining from creating this existence furthermore is the greatest crime. I just thought that's silly because there's nothing but crime going on here currently as we speak. So to stop that and prevent that from happening is now the greatest crime, really. So just a shame, truthfully, just a shame that I have any association to this world. At the very least, if we are going to promote this, you would think that we would be on the same page. I mean, there's all this confliction going on, all this arguing. We don't know what we're doing. At the very least, everybody would be having to be, of an altruistic mindset. You would think that we would be more cooperative in this world if we're going to continue this world. And we are in a way, but we're really not, because clearly people are still struggling. So clearly we're not doing the best job. So again, if I were to look at it like a show, this isn't a good show. I don't know why somebody would want to watch this. I don't want to promote this. So why would I continue this show? Is what I'm saying. So in the South Park episode, they were wanting to continue Earth, to put Earth back on. The show, again, was titled Cancel because they were going to cancel Earth, pretty much discontinue that show. And I wouldn't mind if that would be the case in today's real context of reality. People have the philosophy of Efilism, and I get it. If there is a way that you can just, the whole red button scenario, I understand. Obviously, that's not here, so we don't have to really talk about it. It's really just a thought process more than anything. But that's the case. If we could cancel, yes, we should, because this should not be something that we should promote. This should not be something that we should promote. It really isn't, It really isn't. It's unfortunate what's going on here. It's unfortunate. So yeah, I just believe the greatest crime is what currently is crime today, not some abstract, non-existent form of a crime that's not actually happening. No, what is the greatest conceivable crime is the actual crimes happening right now. So I just thought it was silly how when it comes to somebody that's looking to prevent actual crime from happening, how they're looked at as a criminal. But for people that are putting people to have to be in these positions in the first place, how they're not looked at as criminals. It just kind of goes back to the point of how, this is just upside down, topsy-turvy world, really. And those are the type of people that looks to continue it. And I wish the best for people, but it's sick.